Okay, good morning YouTube. It is July 9th, Sunday morning. See if we can't wrap up another video for this weekend. Okay, last night I did come back out here and cleaned everything up. Got that painted. That looks much better. Just some flat aluminum engine paint. That's all that is high temperature engine paint. Something else I didn't show that you might want to look out for if you assemble one of these things. There is a little rubber diaphragm right here. It popped out when I blew it out. Thankfully, I caught it and it didn't fly anywhere. It goes right in there. I don't see one in the kit, so be very, very careful with that. This is kind of a hard rubber piece. I'm really hoping that doesn't leak. We'll see. If there isn't a new one in here, I couldn't see it. Maybe I'll see it after I dump all the contents in this little bag out. But just watch out for that. Try not to tear it up. You may have to use it over. And I also tore down the regulator. I completely gutted it. Maybe didn't have to, but I just want to make sure everything was clean. All dirt was out of it. And we'll show you how everything goes together. Not much to it really. Got this screen here I think I showed you earlier, and there's a little plastic check valve that goes behind it. This goes, actually I believe, okay, yeah, this goes down in here like that. Got this brass plug that goes over top of that. And you also got this plastic cap, rubber O-ring goes here. Another filter screen to clean out. There was some black rubber particles down in there. There's also a spring down in there. That right there. And just this little bleeder valve which screws, I believe, in here. Yep. Pretty sure that's the right place. Oh yeah. Okay. When you set up a tripod, we'll put this together, and that's pretty much all I can do to this until my heating element comes in. I looked around online for some other prices, even though I'd already bought it. It looks like I'm not going to find it any cheaper. Just about everybody else is about $75 plus shipping. I got this one for $54, free shipping, so that's about as good as I'm going to do on short notice. Alright, let me set up the camera on tripod. We'll put this regulator back together and try to move on to something else while we're waiting for our parts. Okay, we got everything set up, and hopefully I got everything I need right here. First thing, I always like to lube up my any kind of rubber seals with a little bit of petroleum jelly, Vaseline. Just about all kinds of fuels, even transmission fluid. When I rebuild transmissions, I like to lube them up with Vaseline. A little less messier, and just about any kind of oil or fuel will dissolve it quickly, so it won't clog anything or cause any troubles like, say, grease, mud, might, or something like that. Alright, first thing I want to do is just go ahead and put the regulator together. We'll go ahead and do this first. Remember, your spring goes down in there. There's your filter, which I've already cleaned. You have a rubber O-ring seal right here, which I need to get off. Hang on, I got a little tool. If I can find it. Just got to be a little, it's kind of like a little scribe that's on an angle. Get that back out of there so I don't be dropping it on the floor. Got that off of there. Now let's compare the old to the new. Looks pretty close. Or something to. Plus, another thing that lubing these up with something like this is it kind of helps you seal slide into place where it should be. Sometimes they tend to get pinched if they're not exactly where they should be when you put everything together, and that's not a good thing. That'll cause a leak. Will also destroy your seal, and you have to buy another seal kit. So you get clean ready. Alright, got that on there. Looking good. Now we put a spring back in it. That. And we'll just screw. Watch that, that tends to want to cross thread. There it goes. Alright. Probably find out. Even though it's not meant for it, you don't want to put too much pressure on this because it's plastic. But a 1.25" socket, 6-point, we'll slide over that and kind of bite onto those ridges there and help you get a little bit tighter than you normally could hand tightening. It's kind of small, you can't get a lot of leverage. I should get it nice and tight. Oh. We're dropping stuff. That's not a good thing. The thing fell right out of it. Okay. Everything's still here though. Now we'll go ahead and put in this right here. It's kind of like a needle and seat type thing. Okay. Spring goes in there. That fits right in there. Just pay attention to how it all comes out. And the check ball goes there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does. I'm not so sure if it's right or not. Okay. Ah, wait a minute. Where am I? Check ball does not go there. See, I gotta kind of... Yeah, the check ball goes there. What was I thinking? I knew something wasn't right. Don't try this at home. I am a trained amateur. Make sure I did that right. And there's also a rubber seal. Goes right here. Let's get that off. Don't know what I was thinking with the check ball. It almost looked like I knew I was doing there for a minute, didn't it? It's alright. We'll get it. If we don't get it right first time, we'll get it right the second, third, fourth, fifth. What I'm trying to say is we'll eventually get it. Alright, there's your rubber seal there. Be sure that's the right one. Little bit of Vaseline on it. Even polished up my brass plug. Don't that look nice? This brass plug is a 3/4 head on it, that is. Put this in the vise. Snug that down real good. Should have paused the camera so you're just staring at a taking that parts now. Okay, got that tight. Now, the check ball goes in here. I wonder whether you should listen to me. Now, on this little filter screen, you got 3 O-ring seals. You got this one right here. And you got these 2 of them right here. I'm going to have to dig them off. Looks like you got to pretty much cut them to get them off. Need longer fingernails. There we go. Got it hooked. A lot of times the seal is tough to get off like that when it's down between 2 surfaces like that. I squeeze it, get it to rise up high. I don't know how well you can see this. It's right there. And then I hook this under there and it slipped. Got a hold of it. It's being stubborn, don't want to come off. There it goes. Kind of laying them out in the order they came. Now, let's locate the seal. A lot of them are different. It's a small difference. Alright, leave that up. Put it back on the top landing, whatever you want to call it. I'm trying to do this so you can see it. I don't know if I'm doing a very good job of making it all visible on camera. Okay, that's kind of stuck behind that landing. It's going to be a little stubborn. There we are. It's starting to go. Just got to be patient with it. You don't want to tear up your seal. There we go. That's on. Now, let's see. These little seals here match up. One problem with lubing your seals, it makes your fingers slippery and kind of hard to work with this stuff too. Alright. Now, let's just go ahead and stick this in there. There we go. Just kind of turned it, help that seal go in there. Okay, find this seal. Guessing it would be this one. Not sure. See, I'm not seeing any that match it. But this is it. I remember having that leak, and I ended up going to a hardware store to find some. So this might be a little different from the others. That's too big. That looks too small. Okay. Something ain't matching up. Pull this back out. And the check ball went rolling across the floor. Hang on. Alright, found my check ball. Boy, I tell you, this is not going to look very professional. So far it isn't. But, it's okay. That, I'm not sure what's going on with that. It's a heavier seal. Let's see, this is... Yeah, now that boat's right there. I want to make sure we're getting the right seal. There goes the check ball again, but they're on the pan. Make sure I'm getting the right seal here. Okay, and it fits in there. So got to be, that's too small. I don't think they're giving me the seal I need, is what I think. I'll be willing to bet it's this thin one. Like I said, I remember having a leak a long time ago when I took it apart, and I couldn't find the proper seal. I went to the hardware store and got the closest thing I could get that it worked. But, okay, yeah, that's it. It's a thinner seal. Alright. I think we got that figured out now. Now, we'll go ahead and remember your check ball for the third time. Go ahead and stick all this back into it. Turn that so it will, the seal goes down in the sleeve. I think I'm going to go ahead and bolt this on before something else falls out of it. Goes like that. Alright. Pause the camera so I can clean my boats real quick. Alright, got our boats cleaned up. Let's see, we did not lube or seal yet. Way too much. All I want is enough to get it wet, you know? Okay. Put that back down in that little pocket there. And just one thing, little reminder on these boats, you got a long one and a short one. It's pretty obvious. This bolting flange is longer than that one, so the long one goes there. That goes there. That's common sense, really. Just a little something to... But sometimes we forget simple things when we're putting something together the first time. Might be a little nervous or whatever. Maybe a little anxious to get it done, stuff like that. Tighten really tight. Just as aluminum, you don't want to go too crazy. Just want to make sure you don't see gaps in there. Main worry is that your seal could pop out of place and you're pinching it. I don't see any. I just barely snug them and it's looking good and flat. Don't go too crazy with tightening them. These are aluminum. That should do. Alright, and that's pretty much all of that. Let's see, I need to tighten up. This is like a bleeder valve. I guess if you got air in your system, you can bleed it. Bleed the air out while it's running. Or while it's under pressure, I guess you push on that and it will bleed it for you. I got a feeling I'll have to do that since I got a totally dry system right now. It'll be a learning experience for me also. Couldn't find any videos on YouTube for what they call it, purging the fuel system or bleeding it on diesels. Thought for sure I'd see something on that. Heard a lot of people having to purge or bleed the fuel system on a lot of diesels if they run them out of fuel. Now I have ran tank dry on this truck before and just switched tanks and it fired right up, but that's a little different from what I got right now. I got completely dry lines, tanks are cleaned out, everything's empty, so we'll see how that works out. Okay, that's pretty much all that. Let's see, what else can we do to this thing? Well, okay, let me pause the camera. Wait a minute, don't have to. I thought I lost something here. Go ahead and put this little thing back in. It's kind of a loose fit. I'm afraid that's going to leak. We'll see. I didn't get one in the kit. But it's got an O-ring. Okay, no big deal. But I tell you what I'm going to do. I don't even know if I should do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to use a tad, just a very small bit of Permatex. In fact, we'll use this little scribe to spread it. That's how small the amount I want to use. I just want to put a little bit around here because that thing's kind of loose in there. I don't know if it's supposed to be the other way or not. We, of course, don't want any in this hole. So we're going to try that. See what happens. See if I screw up, we'll just have to fix it. Okay. Now let's dig these seals out. Even the old ones, just separate our old ones here. And I'm still dropping into it. Alright. Remember, that just comes apart like that. I guess it's got to be on the right way to get it back on. We'll worry about that after we do our seals. That. Still got Permatex on the scribe. There we are. It's the top one. Bottom one. I see some dirt down in there. I'm going to blow that off. Okay, looks like the two little fat seals are what we need here. Those old ones in there. Alright, now we gotta fit this back on here. We got our seals pressed in. That, what you do, you fit that pin in that hole right there first. And just put this right like that. Now I get to find my bolts. Here they are. Screws, rather, Phillips head screws. Alright, had to pause the camera. The heads of my bolts are rusty. I just hate to clean something up, put dirty, rusty bolts back on it. Just a little pet peeve of mine, I guess. This part right here is the drain valve, in case you need to drain the canister for any reason. Actually, I think they recommend you do it every so often, because this canister is also called a water separator. And if you ever gotten water in like an engine block, you pull the drain plug. Notice the water or antifreeze will come out before oil. Same with diesel fuel. You get water in it, the water will settle at the bottom. So when you drain it, water will come out first. How this keeps water from actually getting in the system, I'm not 100% sure, but it's supposed to work. Okay, and there's that. Like I said, let's just hope that little hardened piece seals. Pause the camera. Alright, just had to cut me off new hose, replacing this old one right here. All that does is go from here to here. I may have to shortcut that. Maybe. No, And I put a little Vaseline on. Actually, the Vaseline works good on your hoses. And they got to slide over kind of tight. They have them kind of drag, not one of those. A little bit of Vaseline doesn't hurt there either. Got my new hose clamps that I found on eBay. They're black stainless steel. I really like them. I need a screwdriver fits a little better. Let me go and hook down to something else to tighten it down. Here's something that'll work a little better than a screwdriver. They got a little hex head on them. 1/4-inch socket. Works perfect. If you can get to it with that, I always like that better than a screwdriver. You can't over tighten them this way though. You have to be careful with that. You can see I'm already squeezing it pretty well. But I like these hose clamps. Like I said, I found them on eBay. They were advertised as stainless steel. They did come in black. Whether they're really stainless or not, I'm not sure. They probably are. They are a lot tougher than those cheap ones that you buy today. Just like at your regular auto parts store, you know how easy it is just to tear up the actual threads on the band or the screw, draws it together. I tend to over tighten them, I guess, but I think that these new ones are so tender you can't really tighten them good enough. I've had times where I was careful with it and the fitting leaked and I tried to snug it down a little more and the hose clamp would break. Brand new hose clamp. Unlike these here, you can really torque them down. I can't remember the name of the guy's eBay name, user ID. I did go back and look for some different sizes and he didn't have any more advertised, so I don't know. How that's going to work out. Not 100% sure if I'm on or off. According to that, it's closed. Okay. See, it says right there, closed, open. Drain, closed, right. Alright. I think that's about all I can do. Only thing that's left, outside of putting my heater element back in and the stem, are these two little sensors. One of them actually plugs in the heater element, that's this, and I don't really want to put that in until I get my heating element in. And O-ring there, O-ring there. I'll probably show the completion of this assembly when I get my stuff in. Alright, that's all we can do to this thing. So we're going to set all this aside, set it down in here, and I guess the next thing we do, if this video isn't too long, I don't care, I'll upload it anyway. We're going to go ahead and get our oil cooler off this thing. We got to rebuild it. We're not going to tear it down until we finish the fuel canister though, because I don't want my table full of parts from two different assemblies. That could get a little confusing. Alright, let me gather up some tools, see what I got to do. And we'll make a little video of how to get that off. Make it easier for people who are trying to get one off while the truck is assembled. You can't really see how it comes off. If you see it like this, even if your truck isn't apart, it'll let you know where the bolts are and all that stuff. Stay tuned. Let's pause the camera again.